Hey there! Welcome to an incredibly oversimplified and abridged history of musical theater. Episode 1, Where It All Began.
The origins of musical theater date back to ancient Greece, even from its name. Music comes from the Greek word muses, the goddesses of arts and science. Theater from the Greek word theatron, meaning a place for viewing. Music was performed largely in amphitheaters for festivals and celebrations. After years of the Greeks appreciating the arts separately, Greek tragedy incorporated poetry, music, and dance together.
These tragedies were basically stories of one protagonist, or hero, dealing with negative consequences of their actions. The point was to show people's vulnerability and teach audiences that actions had consequences. From then on, theater was a way to show human emotion and reflect the human mind. Sometimes these had happy endings, but usually not. They really wanted to reflect real people dealing with real hardships.
As time went by, people started to care more about the lyrics and saw them as poetry. People would sing their poetry and accompany themselves on the lyre. These sung verses were now called lyrics. Yup.
As these continued to get more popular, people wanted to see a visual dramatic edition. People then paired these lyrics with stories told by a group of speakers, known as a Greek chorus. They told the stories so the lyrics could focus on the characters' emotions.
In the Middle Ages, the Greek chorus was replaced by a group of singers, and the performances would start to be based more often on religion. This made sense, because the word theater also sounds a lot like theos, meaning God. Yep. And seeing as those amphitheaters didn't have roofs, it was like they were always performing for not only the audience, but the gods too.
Heading into the 17th century, people branched out to tell all sorts of stories. They used two main types of songs, the recitative, a speaky kind of song for storytelling, and the aria. No, not that aria. A smoother kind of song meant for showing emotion.
Italy, Italy, 1600. We started seeing madrigals, songs that were usually sung by 3 to 6 people a cappella or without accompaniment, which often used love poems as inspiration. They composed the music to fit the beats and flow of the music, specifically to emphasize the text.
From here, people wanted to stage these songs and make them more elaborate, so they decided to take straight plays and add these musical performances in between acts, like a halftime show. They were called Intermedi. Yup. They didn't tell plot, but instead focused on one human emotion to support the characters in the play. As the Intermedi developed, they eventually became more popular than the play they were supporting. Audiences wanted to see a show with just Intermedi. And from here, opera was born.
Opera managed to connect with audiences on both a musical and a dramatic level in a way that they had never seen before. It kept the positive features of Intermedi and expanded them to a much larger level by prolonging them and inserting a fully developed plot. Many well-known composers such as Mozart chose to try composing opera, even though it was new to them. Opera quickly became one of the primary sources of musical and theatrical entertainment and would remain this way for centuries to come, but that's just the beginning.
Tune in Wednesday for our next episode of An Incredibly Oversimplified and Abridged History of Musical Theater.